Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my first quarter reading stats for 2023. Before I get into all of my reading stats and how things are going for me so far in this year, I want to kind of just talk about YouTube and how it's going to be for me going forward. Since the beginning of the year, have been doing my best to be very consistent, posting twice a week, but I just don't think that's sustainable for me anymore. Until like 2 weeks ago, I really had been keeping up with that schedule, but I found it, I don't even want to say exhausting. I didn't feel like I was putting out quality videos because my ideas were running out. And I know that like plenty of people do vlogs and sit down videos all the time, but I just don't think that for me, I can commit to twice a week every week. I think I'm gonna probably try to stick to once a week and might not even put myself on that much of a schedule just because I like filming videos when I have something to say. You know, I don't wanna just be putting out videos for the sake of it that take me a while to make, take me a long time to edit, and then I get like 20 views. I mean, I appreciate every view I get, but I would like to be reaching a wider audience at this point in my YouTube career. So I think by doing like fewer but maybe better quality and more of what people want to see, that will help me do that. I also just filmed this entire video that I'm about to do and then realized I didn't have any sound. So this is like a perfect example, I guess, of why I feel like I needed to do a little less, because this is now taking me like 20 more minutes than it should have, because I have to redo it. And it was good the first time, and now I'm gonna like forget what I had to say. But anyways, I would love to know what type of videos you guys like to see, if you prefer my sit-down videos, if you prefer vlogs. I do find vlogs a little easier to do just because it's in the moment. You know, I'm just talking about my life and talking about what I'm reading and how I feel about it. So hopefully those get some entertainment for you, but I would love to know what kind of videos you like to see from other creators, other booktubers, because I feel like I'm running out of ideas, and I certainly don't want to just be putting out poor quality videos that nobody really wants to watch and nobody will watch. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about my first quarter reading stats. If I'm looking over to the side, it's because that's where my laptop is with my stuff all written down. So just bear with me. So from January 1st to March 31st, I read 48 books total, which is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. I would have loved to have squeezed in 2 more books, only because then I would be like first quarter 50, second quarter hopefully 50, you know, because I'm trying to hit 200 for the year. I did DNF quite a few. Well, that's kind of an exaggeration. I've DNF'd at least 5, so I know that I've read many more pages, but unfortunately I don't like to count those. So of those 48, I have 18 that were 5-star books, 16 that were 4 stars, 11 that were 3 stars, 3 that were 2 stars, and none that were 1 star. I don't think I've ever given a book 1 star. That is just, if I finished it, I'm giving myself a star because I finished it, even if I didn't like it. I feel like the only books that I would give a 1 star to are books that I DNF'd anyways, and I don't really rate books that I didn't actually finish reading, even if I know it would be bad. Like, feel confident in the fact that I would want to give this 1 star. I don't know. If I finished it, I'm just not gonna probably rate it a 1 star, but I'll sure leave a nice long review about how I felt. So again, yeah, I don't know exactly how many books I've DNF'd, but I know it's at least around like 5. So my top 5 books of the first quarter of 2023 will surprise no one because I've talked about all of these at length. The first is Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. This comes out on April 18th, so next Tuesday as I'm filming this, and I cannot wait. It was a book of the month pick for April, so I know that a lot of people have been able to read it before its official publication day, which is so exciting to me. I've been talking about this book since January when I read it, and I just can't wait for it to like really get out in the world. I did pre-order a copy, even though I've already read it, but I'm so excited. I would love to reread it, and I'm really looking forward to like having a physical copy in my hands because it's like a new favorite ever, not like, even just this year. So that's pretty awesome. I know I've mentioned it a lot, but it is about a girl who is American and she's living in London, and kind of this toxic sort of relationship that she's just in and out of, and how much she gives of herself to this guy who maybe takes and doesn't give anything back. And it's really a beautiful, heartbreaking, just perfect. Oh, I love it so much. Gotta read it. The next, again, talked about Wheat Spread by Ian Reid. This is a social horror about getting older, the aging process, and just the fear of being forgotten once you're of a certain age, and just being kind of talked down to, like you've lost your mind just because, you know, you're getting older. I thought that was absolutely brilliant book. It was heartbreaking. It was pretty socially horrific. So I recommend that one for sure. I loved it so much. Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. I absolutely adored this. This was the one about the twins who spontaneously combust when they get upset or agitated, and this woman who is tasked with being their caretaker. And they just form this really unlikely friendship, this really fun bond together, and it was just really great, really sweet book. Loved it. Drowning. This is not out yet. This doesn't come out till the end of May, I believe, but this is about a plane crash that crashes into water somewhere between Hawaii and LA, I believe. And the passengers and a couple of the crew members survive and then shut the cabin door and are able to live. They're still alive. This plane is underwater, but obviously oxygen is at a premium, and they don't have, you know, that much time before it runs out, and just how this rescue mission to get them is. But it's so much more than that. It's like a very emotional book. So good. I can't wait for it to come out and for everyone to be able to read it. And my last of my top 5, these were in no order really, just in order. Only the Beautiful by Susan Meisner. This also comes out on April 18th, so next Tuesday. I just loved it. This is historical fiction, and it follows a girl that has been orphaned and lives on this vineyard. She ends up working for this family as her parents and brother die, so they just kind of take her in because she's still like 16. She has synesthesia. I say it wrong every time, but it's like where you can see sounds, like you see certain colors and patterns when you hear music or just any sound. And so they send her to this like home for the insane because they're like, you crazy girl. So that was a really great book. It's set around World War II, but it doesn't like necessarily directly correlate. There's another timeline in there as well, but it was so good. I loved it. I can't wait for more people to read it and to hear what everyone else thinks. All right, my bottom 5 so far this year. We have She Started It, which I just went on a long rant on in my last video. This is about these girls who were really mean to this other girl in school, and they get invited to her bachelorette party like 10 years later, and they decide to go, even though I don't understand that at all. Why would you go to a party of someone you bullied and don't even like on a private island where like I did not like that. As you can tell, I definitely went on a fun little rant about it, but that one comes out later in this month, I think, and I don't recommend it. The Friendship Breakup by Annie Catherine. I think I went on a rant about this one as well. It's just like about mommy drama, but not an entertaining or fun way. This one, these women just like don't make sense, and the main character is like so desperate to be their friend, and I just don't get it because no one is seeming like they're worthy of being that upset about. The next one is None of This Would Have Happened If Prince Were Alive. I did give this 3 stars, so like, again, not like horrible. I still enjoyed it. I just, once I finished, there were certain things that I looked back on and were like, that actually bothered me a bit. This follows a woman who finds out her husband is cheating on her at the same time that a big hurricane is coming towards her hometown in Savannah. And so she's trying to like get her kids to evacuate, and she ends up like driving away, but then her mother refuses to leave her home in like out on the water, and so she like brings her kids back. That was like what really killed me. I'm like, why are your mother's a grown woman, like I know you want to take care of her, but you're putting your kids in danger to save your mom who has made a choice. I don't know, I don't want to get into it again, but it wasn't like it was bad. It was just a book that I don't think I would ever reread, and it's not memorable except for the things I just said. It also really has nothing to do with Prince, so that was kind of misleading. Again, I really think that she just came up with this title and then was like, how can I make a book about this with this funny, cute, quirky title? Whatever. There's really like just passing mentions of like what song was popular when this thing happened, when you get like sort of flashback chapters. And the little girl in it has a teddy bear named Minneapolis, because that's like, you know, Prince's hometown. Prince is Minneapolis. But don't recommend that either. Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. That's all you need to know. I mean, this certainly was the best of the books that I've read by her, but I still didn't like it. We all know that I'm not a coho girly, but I am happy for people that enjoy her books. I do think they can be problematic, but this one I didn't find anything problematic with. I just didn't think it was a good book. And my last one is Regrets Only. I read this back in January, so I really don't remember too much about it. Just that it is like the Walmart version of Big Little Lies, but like doesn't make sense. It was bad. Don't recommend it. I got rid of it so fast, so I can't even like see if I took notes or anything. Just don't read that. It's not good. So those are my first quarter stats. I had a pretty good first 3 months of the year. I'm very pleased with my numbers, and especially about how many books that I read that I really enjoyed. I have, you know, DNF'd some, so it hasn't all been like smooth sailing, but I'm really hopeful for some of the books that I have on my shelves now that I will be reading in the coming months. And of course, I'm probably going to get plenty more, but I've been really enjoying what I'm reading, and we're off to a great start. I hope you are too. If you liked this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe. In the comments, I would love to know what kind of videos you like from booktubers that you watch. I would love any new ideas, things you would like to see. If you enjoy certain kind of video, like a vlog over a sit and chat type of video, please let me know. I would love your input, and I would love to put out more content that my people will like. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!